العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا الكريم محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أهله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Talk That Talk with Ardent Flair. I'm your host Mariam Umar Mariga, and today in the studio I have my guest Fatima Ahmed Tijani. We will be talking about the gravity of wronging others. Talk That Talk is an avenue for Muslim youth to sit and discuss issues pertaining to our religion and our development as the upcoming generation of the Muslim Ummah. My guest Fatima, thank you so much for honoring my invitation and coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So please let's say salam to the viewers.
Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So Fatima, what does it mean to wrong people in Islam? Because as Muslims, it's important for us to know that sin is different degrees, and if we wrong others, now this one is a sin that even Allah cannot, intervene in, because it's now between you and the rights of someone. So how, do we understand what it means to wrong people in Islam?
So when you say wronging people in Islam is treating someone in an unfair or unacceptable way, and then it can also be defined as expressing uncertainty about that person's behavior. In the society we're in now, let me see the generation we're in now, we see wronging people as a minor issue. But actually, personally, I see it as a major issue because wronging people leads to depression. What I mean by depression is when you wrong someone, especially someone who is introverted. Introverted people are people who let their problems be within themselves. They don't express their problems to other people. Yes. So when you wrong someone who is introverted, the person would have a feeling of unworthiness or feel maybe unwanted in the society. And then people who have lack of Islamic knowledge, they tend to feel, okay, let me just leave the world for people since everyone is begin to get suicidal, no one is backing me or something like that. And then wronging people leads to vengeance, also continuous revenge.
Start thinking of revenge.
Yes. So when you wrong someone who is impatient, the person will feel, okay, I'll have to revenge, even though I'm going to do it again. So when you revenge, that revenge will become continuous. You get. So during the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the most patient person in the earth. And then during his time, during the early revelation of the Quran, the elders in Quraysh were always insulting him, telling him bad words. As bin Wa'il used to come to the house of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wait for the Prophet to come out from his house and insult him, tell him all sort of words, unpleasant words. And then in the hadith, the most frequent insults that As bin Wa'il used to tell the Prophet was that his name will soon be forgotten. So that was when Surah Al-Kawthar was revealed. Surah Al-Kawthar was revealed to compensate the Prophet Muhammad. Inna a'tainaka al-Kawthar, verily you have abundant blessings. Fasalli li rabbika wanhar, so pray to your Lord and offer sacrifice. Inna shani'aka huwal abtar, and verily your enemies shall be cut off. That enemy was As bin Wa'il. As Muslims, if you ask every Muslim who Prophet Muhammad is, that person will be able to tell you, even if he doesn't know things about Islam, he would have an idea of who the Prophet Muhammad is. So this is to show you that Prophet Muhammad's name has never been forgotten in the world. But As bin Wa'il, even me, when I was before I read about As bin Wa'il, I never knew who As bin Wa'il is.
Very true.
But when I was growing up, I knew who Prophet Muhammad is. So this is to show you how wronging people has a very significant
place in Islam.
In Islam. And then you just have to be patient when you're being wronged.
So there's a saying that what goes around comes around, what goes up comes down. So how does the plot of the plotter, or shall I say the plot of the schemer, bounce back to him?
So number one, the negativity of the plot affects his or her thinking and internal being, because that person will have this uncomfortability. The person will be having guiltiness all the time. You think it depends on the action actually. But when you wrong someone, maybe with killing or something, you'll be that uncomfortable.
You can murder someone and have a peaceful night.
Yes, you feel maybe the person will come back to you, and then definitely the plot will come back hurting you more. Because you would never hurt someone in this world and be free completely. Is either the plotting will be unraveled in the world or in the hereafter.
It's just like I want to bring science into this. It's just like Newton's third law of motion.
Yes.
For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Exactly.
Do you know that kind of
reversible.
Thing? Exactly. It's reversible. So you can't live without that guilt.
Exactly.
That conscience. If you're human, then you will always have that thing, haunting you and coming back to you.
Number 2, if Allah wishes, if He loves you more, because I see it as if Allah loves you more, He would unravel the plot in the world.
Person.
So it's better for you to experience the shame in this dunya than experiencing it in the hereafter, because any judgment that is being taken on the day of judgment is fixed. It's not going to be changed. So it's better the plotting should be unraveled in the world,
because you have the shame here.
Yes, and then you have more sense of asking for forgiveness from that person whom you have wronged. So, and then in this issue, Allah does not forgive someone who has wronged another person except he asks for forgiveness
from the person.
Yes.
So there are rights of parents upon children, there are rights of children upon parents, there are rights of a Muslim upon another Muslim, and in general there are rights of people. That everyone should know that, okay, if I have a neighbor, I shouldn't, turn on loud, even if it's Quran, I shouldn't turn on loud Quran at 5 a.m. just because I want to. Exactly. So you have to be considerate with people. So what are the rights of other people around you in Islam?
Okay, so when you say right, even the citizens' rights in the country is actually much. So you can't list all of them, especially when it comes to Islam. So we as Muslims, we have too many rights. The most important rights of Muslims in Islam is right to life and peaceful living. That's number 1. And then the second one is right to own property. So right to life and peaceful living here, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لا يحل دم امرئ إلا بإحدى ثلاث الثيب الزاني النفس بالنفس التارك لدين المفارق للجماعة. This is an authentic hadith. So the hadith is simply talking about it is prohibited to shed the blood of a Muslim except in these 3 instances. Number 1, a married man who commits adultery, a life for a life. Someone who abandons his religion, a Muslim who abandons his religion, and someone that secludes himself from people. So this is to show you how a life is very important in Islam. And another thing is, if you kill one person, it's like you've killed the whole of humanity. And if you save one life, it's like you've saved the whole of humanity. Yes. And then when I say right to own property, this is when business comes. So in every business there is halal and haram. We all know what is halal and haram. In the haram one, we have riba. Business that involves riba is haram completely. And Islam also emphasizes on the importance of helping and supporting people. So the rights of Muslims in Islam is actually very broad. This is when Sharia comes, and then the rights of people, the rights of your neighbors, how you treat your neighbors, how you treat other people in the society,
how you treat even non-Muslims.
Yes. So even non-Muslims actually have impact in our life, because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, we should be kind to the non-Muslims, because the showing of our kindness to them would make them have a positive mindset of Islam. So that one kindness, that treatment that you give a non-Muslim could make him feel, okay, this religion is actually a good religion. See how this one treated me. Maybe he had experiences with more than 5 Muslims, and then the 5 Muslims treated him with kindness. So he would have that positive mindset that maybe, okay, I think Islam is not what people are taking it as.
The stereotypical.
I've seen 5 people who have treated me with kindness. So I think maybe let me just go through their religion, and then if we are lucky, that person might
accept Islam.
Revert to Islam, because a person does not convert to Islam, a person revert to Islam. This is to show you that as you were brought to the world, you were already Muslim.
Yeah.
So you do not convert to Islam, you revert back to your own main religion. Yes.
So just to add to what Fatima said about the rights of a person in Islam, Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu anhu narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a Muslim is a brother of another Muslim. He does not wrong him, he does not slander him, and whoever fulfills the needs of his Muslim brother, Allah will fulfill all his needs. And whoever relieves a Muslim from his distress, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would relieve him from distress on the day of resurrection. Also, whoever covers the deeds or the sins of another Muslim, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cover all his deeds, all his bad deeds on the day of Qiyamah. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu also said that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, La darara wa la dirar, that there should be no harming or reciprocating of harm. Meaning, should somebody harm you in an un-Islamic way, then you should not reciprocate, you should not revenge. This is actually a very good thing that Islam teaches us, and it makes us want to understand that we as Muslims, we have rights, and we also have people that have rights with us. Like whenever a Muslim brother sneezes, we should bless them by saying Yarhamukallah, and then they say Ghafarallahu lana wa lakum, and that kind of thing. So in Islam, you should try as much as possible to keep good relationship with people, because people, any problem that you get with a person can be used against you on the day of Qiyamah. When your Muslim brother is sick, you should visit him in the hospital. When you are greeted with salam, when your Muslim brother says Assalamu Alaikum to you, you should say Wa Alaikum Salam, because it is compulsory. It is one of the Haqqul Muslim ala Muslim. Is one of the 5 compulsory things that you should do as a right to your Muslim brother. So with this, we'll take a short break. This is an ad by Raka Multi-Concepts Limited. They have the best shoes and products you would ever need. So do check them out.